Fernando said to me that we have this class today, and I'm very excited and very happy when I see your invitation, and it's a beautiful, beautiful moment in my my day to be
Mm-hmm.
here with you and our friends. And I was looking on Discord regarding the book that you published, Roche Milin.
Yes.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. I read this at and thank you very much for sharing this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're inspiring me. Yesterday conversation inspired me. I was thinking about it all night long, and I was preparing the lesson today in a connection to what we have discussed yesterday, because yesterday an interesting opening happened, and I would like to discuss this opening with you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much. Good morning, Fernando.
Good evening, Eti. Shalom, shalom, Rodrigo and friends. How are you doing, Eti?
Shalom, shalom. We are doing fine. We are doing fine. How is the weather today in Brazil?
It's kind of strange weather here, Eti. Thank you for asking. I don't know even how to explain, but uh, it's been a little cold in the morning. It starts to rain. We are having four seasons in one day. Maybe
Mm,
it's like this.
yeah. Also, like here, it's the same. It's hard to define what is happening because every hour there's a different climate. So it's interesting. So let's move into the whiteboard and see what kind of present is waiting for us there. And if you see a connection so far between the verses that are here waiting and our conversation from yesterday, do you see any connection? Or first, would you like to read the verses or ask questions or deal with it relate to the painting which was made by the AI, speaking to the AI in Midjourney? What would you like to start with? Hi, Julie. Good morning. Yes, Rodrigo Fernando, would you like to start with a verse from Song of Songs?
Yesterday I chose, so I prefer that today Fernando,
Fernando.
with his
Yeah.
creation, he can pick to us.
Yes, please. Fernando, what do you choose? I hope Fernando can hear us at the moment. If not, if Fernando cannot hear us, Rodrigo, you can choose.
Okay, Ati, thank you very much. Well, um, yesterday we started with the picture,
Yes.
with but today I think I prefer to start with songs of the songs, and then we see where the conversation will uh, carry us.
Thank you so much. And would you like to read the English verses? Rodrigo, can you hear?
Yes, yes, I can read it. I can read it.
Thank you.
Song of Songs, chapter 5, Shir Hashirim, verse 2. I sleep, but my heart waketh. Hark, my beloved knocketh. Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. For my head is filled with dew, my locks with the drops of the night. I have put off my coat. How shall I put it on? I have washed my feet. How shall I defile them? My beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door, and my heart was moved for him.
Thank you so much. What is happening in those, let's say, the first two verses, the second and the third? Who is speaking in verse 2, or who is describing what is happening, and what is the response in verse 3? What is happening in verse 2?
I believe that those who love is I don't know, it's dreaming because he was sleeping and hasn't heard the voice of his love and asking for to open that door, asking for being received, for being received.
And what?
And
Yes. Yes.
no, and the answer is that I have put off my coat. So it's interesting that because here I remember Joseph, the coat of many colors that
Yes,
we
this is the
all the
reason. Yes, this is the
yeah,
reason I brought this, because it
yes.
resonates with what we have discussed yesterday. So there's the love, the love, the one who has some kind of compassion or love. He knocks at the door and asks that the beloved one will open, because his head is full of dew, the drops of the night. But this is from one side of the door, so to speak, from the outside. But what is happening from the other side of the door? What is the answer? Yes?
The verse 3.
Yes. One,
Well,
yes?
no, I'm already. I have put off my coat, and then she asked, how shall I put it on? How shall I defile them?
There is a
And,
tension. Yes? Yes,
no,
Rodrigo?
please go ahead. Please go ahead,
There
Etsy. I
is
miss it.
there is a tension. Yes? The beloved one, or the uncle. The Hebrew speaks about the uncle. The beloved one, I'll take a pen and I will write it. The beloved one is knocking. Who is the beloved one? Who is the uncle, the dod? Who is he?
The spirit, maybe.
Yes, the spirit, the divinity. Divinity is knocking at the door. Divinity is always, in this case, is masculine. Yes, this masculine. Or the spirit. Yes. The spirit is knocking at the door. It's not a physical door of wood, but in our recognition. And the spirit knocks and asks 4 times, open to me. My sister, my dove, my sister, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. Why to open? Why he is asking her, the masculine or the spirit ask that she will open the door, and he knocks or asks 4 times because he knocks on the door of matter. The matter is always 4. This is why he turns to her 4 times. Achoti, my sister, Ra'ayati, my, here they say my love, but this is my wife, my dove, my undefiled. 4 times, because the spirit turns to the matter. Why he turns to the matter? Sheroshi nimlat tal, because my head is filled with dew, and my locks with drops of the night. The spirit wants to influence the matter. So the spirit notified the matter. Tuk, 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 here I am, open for me. Not a physical door of a house, but open me, some kind of an open that I could have a meeting with you. I would like to speak to you. I would like to inspire you. My head, my potential is full of dew. And we shall open the word dew with water and see what is the connection with the coat. Yes? But what is the answer? Let's say the spirit wants to talk to a person. And what is the answer in verse 3? I have put off my coat. Yesterday we were speaking about the coat of Joseph. What was the coat of Joseph that we have seen yesterday? But a person, divinity wants to speak to a person, but a person is saying, I'm occupied, meaning I already removed my light garment. How shall I put it on again? What is a light garment? Rodrigo. Can you hear me, Rodrigo, Fernando? Do you have a sound coming? Hello? Hello, hello. We have sound on YouTube. Thank you so much. There is a sound. Rodrigo, Fernando, do you have a sound coming? Because I
Can you hear
cannot.
me, Eti?
Now I
Hello?
can. I'm sorry. Now I can. Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I'm at the office, so
I understand.
I have to close my microphone, and sometimes it doesn't come back.
Yes.
But I am listening. I was thinking, Eti, about what is our light garment. You know, I really was thinking here about this being able to listen the word of the higher,
Yes.
because it is a process, right? You need to open space, you need to
Yes.
have energy. It is not easy. It is not
Yes.
easy.
Yes. Yes, it's true. This is what a person says when God know that we have a communication, an idea or a dream. A dream asks to permission to go inside to influence us. But the person is saying, excuse me. Yes, in other words, I already took off my coat, the light garment. I'm in a way now in my physical dressing. God wants to communicate to a person. The communication with the divinity is in a spirit level. But here there's an excuse. I already removed my light garment. I just live in space and time. I have duties. I have to do a night shift at the factory. I don't have a time for you. I already washed my
Yes.
feet. Yes, if I washed my feet with water, meaning I live in time. What do you want from me? I'm just a regular person. Yeah? This is interesting. So said also, I hope that Rodrigo is listening, because Tal, dew, has the value of 39.
Yes, 39.
Yes.
This, and 10 times is Shammai and
Hashem.
Yeah, yes, very good. Hashem, very good. Shamaim, or Shemen,
Shemen.
Only
Yeah.
three
Shemen,
letters.
Shemen.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
also, or the name of the tetragrammaton filled with the letter Aleph,
Yes.
Yod, Hey, Vav. This is 39. Double 10. So,
Yes.
in a way, whenever we see dew in the Bible, Tal, it stands for the name of God filled with influence. Also, 39 is 3 times love, 3 times 13. I want to influence. But what a person says, I already took off my light garment, meaning my communication with the higher. What do you want me to prepare? Like Fernando says, to make space, to make some kind of a time to read, to prepare. Yes? How shall I
Actually,
defile them? Yes? Yes, please?
yes, actually, how can I say it's a coincidence because this morning here in Porto Alegre, I was walking and around my house, and I was thinking exactly about this, um, uh, regarding this thing that you put here to our conversation. How shall I put it on? Because how can I say? Sometimes it's hard, at least to me, um, this connection with the spiritual room, with the inner room. And I was thinking exactly about this morning. I was um, asking to be visit to this beloved or something like that, to the spiritual. How we talk about this every classes, and I feel this in our classes. I feel moments, and I feel the spirit, and I can sense this, and I can feeling this. But it's hard to be open to this conversation with the spirit, with the inner world, because it's something, at least to me, that not occurs. How can I say, consciously? It's something that how can I say? It's a conversation that it's hard to to be because here we use the language, we use letters and words, and we it's I cannot say a logical conversation, a logical communication with you and our friends. But when we try to keep this conversation with the spiritual room, I believe it's not so logical. I believe it's not so clear. I believe it's not, how can I say, it's hard to heard uh, his voice. Now I remember the Shema. We are, I'm always try to be open to, to this visit and to this conversation, but I'm afraid that I can't understand the language of the spiritual room, or the manner of that this communication course. And you bring this, and I ask to you, how shall I put it on? How shall we could keep this conversation with this uh,
It is.
this
I understand.
this experience?
I
Yes, yes,
understand.
yes.
What happens is usually there's, let's say, a session here, a discussion, there are questions, people express their ideas, there's a conversation. And whenever we speak to each other, the stream of thoughts, of consciousness is coming, also dreams are coming, all kinds of things are coming while we speak to each other. And those are not random things. If we pay attention to them, it seems like side comment or side something not really big. But if we pay attention to this little pearl and we slowly open it, we take the time and relate to this idea. Let's say Fernando says something about the book of Daniel, and suddenly I meet in my day 3 quotes from the book of Daniel. Not that I was looking for it, yes, but 3 quotes from, I was looking completely for different things to prepare for class, and suddenly I see 3 quotes from the book of Daniel. So something is happening here. And it can be that you mentioned something, or Felipe, or Venus, or anyone, or something happens in the supermarket, and while you're waiting for the bus, somebody said a word, and the word is in the air. It can be anything, anything, just to pay attention, to be awake. And this is the story, because in verse 3, the person says, I already removed my light garment. The light garment is the ability to speak and to communicate. This is the light garment, to speak and to communicate. How shall I wear it? Shall I start? And I translate it to our time. Shall I open my PC? Shall I log in into Discord to see what is happening? I'm already tired. Why to start up, and why to write a letter to a friend? Why to make a voice file and to send it to a friend? Why? I'm already tired. I brushed my teeth. I wear my pajama. I'm just exaggerating, yes? I don't wear now a light garment. It's not 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not after shower, after shave. I'm exaggerating with after shave or so. It's midnight. And I'm wearing, excuse me, pajama. And this is it. If a person wears pajama, he goes to sleep. If he goes to sleep, it means he lives in a way in time and space, because he's not awake. A person who is awake does not need, so to speak, pajama. He has this light garment. Some people, they are so awake that even if they rest in bed and have a nap, you speak to them, they answer to you. They're answering you. So their body might nap, like rest, so to speak, but they manage to answer. The mind is active. It is always encouragement to be in communication. Don't fall asleep. Don't, how do you say, to be to fall into this gravity, the law of the matter. Gravity, this is a law of gravity. This is the law of the matter. If once you had an idea and then you didn't write it, oh, what now? Should I write a letter? Oh, I don't want to move. I don't want to plug in to something, to open my email. Yeah, this is the law of gravity. But light garment is not just kotnot or light, like to illuminate, like Hanukkah candles, kotnot or with aleph, light garment. It's also light. It means it's not heavy. When we communicate, and this is the thing, when we communicate, we're not heavy. We're not surrendering ourselves to the law of gravity. Yes, Venus is writing synchronicities. Every class is an aftermath, yes, rendering of my living daily experience. I understand. Thank you. Do you understand? The light garment is the ability to communicate, to speak. And when we speak, things are not heavy. We say a heavy silence when people do not speak and there's like suddenly heaviness in the room. It's to communicate, basically, Rodrigo. Yes, Fernando?
No, it is interesting. I will try to articulate one idea. I was reading a paper last night, and it was about the idea of, how can I say in English, psychosomatic. I'm sorry, like psychosomatic, like the disease that is psychosomatic, like when a person is suffering a lot and it manifests in the body. You know, it is something that is in the soul, the root is in the soul, like when you lose somebody that is dear to you, or something happened and you are suffering a lot of pain. Sometimes this suffering manifests in the body, right? and you have a disease or a depression or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was uh, I took this example from the dark side, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
to exemplify how the different levels of the soul can manifest in the body and vice versa. Like, and the body can, going from the body, you can access other realms. And what we were talking here, that came to me about this light garment, and it's perfect, everything that you just said it, is that when we are looking through a symbol to like this deal or the continuator, this light garment, we start looking at something very literal in the first level, right? We look at the coat of many colors and we think about a coat of many colors, like uh, um, a t-shirt that I can buy on the shopping
Mm-hmm.
mall. But we start slowly to think about it, like, but what this symbol represents in Joseph's story, and we start to think about Joseph, and we amplify to Yesod and to the Tree of Life, and the symbol for itself starts to transform the energy from the material to another realm. Um, I'm trying to articulate this because it's a very dear topic to me, and but what I feel is that when we start to manage the symbol, we access this light garment. We feel light again. We like overcome this heaviness of the gravity, because with the story, with the symbol, with the communication, we are acting in another realm already. We
Exactly.
feel another realm. Um, it is what we feel already. So this is interesting, Eti, because uh, this symbol can transform this energy. So when we slowly start to think about these ideas, we start to manage our soul, uh, our ruach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we assess other plans, and then the synchronicities come. Then we are walking in the street and talking with the friends, or with an observation that Venus, Philip, you, somebody said something and make something on us. So this is what I think about this topic, Liti.
It's great. It's great that you're sharing this, and this is so beautiful
Thank you.
because we cannot relate to things in a frontal way. Otherwise, it will be like a duality. But in a way, the symbol is a third realm. Is a third realm. So when we speak, like two people are speaking to each other, and they speak about some kind, let's say about the sun. Yeah. Each one says another perspective, but they meet not in their, so to speak, radius, each one how he perceived the sun, but once they speak about the sun, like there is a new dimension. A new dimension is created, and with this new dimension, which is not person A or person B, but a third new dimension that was never there before, then comes the elevation. Then we elevate. This is it. Symbol, or speaking about symbols, about words, songs, painting, enables us, or this is an entry to elevate ourselves. And regarding psychosomatic pain, I read a beautiful article about a doctor here that he managed to prove how certain pattern of so to speak, negative thinking really create pain in people, first pain, and then diseases. Because people, they have certain pattern of thinking, and if they don't open their mind for a new thinking, to learn a new language, a new instrument, or so something to go forward, and they have like a close cycle of the same thoughts, they cannot negotiate with the spirit, and this repeating of the same thoughts over and over again create physical pain. The pain becomes so dominant, it stops, and then start disease. So this is very interesting. And when we speak, this is a breakthrough, Fernando, when we speak about symbols, we let it go. We send those close thinking. We just open our thought to something higher, and we let this relief come. Now I would like to share with you, this is an explanation that a person from the 17th century, 18th century wrote about those verses. If you're interested, I can translate it. And if not, we can go to this little thing that try to share with us this experience. Yes.
If you
Yes, please, I'm curious about the text.
about the test,
The text. Okay.
please.
Okay, about the text is by the Malbim. This is abbreviation of a person who lived in the 17th or 18th century. I can write more about him on Discord later. He says this is basically those verses that we read is only an allegory. The wife, the beloved one that already took off her dresses and washed her feet. He speaks now in a feminine about the wife, but it's about the person who lives in space and time, men or women, but whenever we only embody, we consider to be women. So this is why he said, and washed her feet. And she doesn't feel that she can stand up, dress, and to walk barefoot. Pashatati, I took off. Pashatati, this is the word, very good, Rodrigo. The word that we found yesterday that the brothers remove. Remove, pashat. Pashatati et kutanti, I removed my garment. Here I write, yes, she removed the garment, and Shamaim, heavens, is 390, the spirit, and she removed her garment. She has a distance to the one. She is far away. So, Pashatati, I removed my garment, said Nefesh. Nefesh is basically, yes, we have 3 levels here. Nefesh, Ruach in the heart, and Neshama in the mind. So the Nefesh answers that Nefesh, this is a lower communication, animated part of the soul, which is animated in our movement, so to speak. So she said, I already removed my dressing. And he says, because the Bible wants to say that the Nefesh that has the righteousness to gain prophecy, and this is, Fernando, you were mentioning yesterday, that when Jacob, in a way, when Joseph was sold to the Egyptians, he stopped having prophecy. Do you remember? I was listening to your podcast yesterday. He says that the Nefesh which has the righteousness to prophecy, once it is taking off her skin garment, and here skin garment is geshem, gashmi, physical, taking off her physical garment, she will dress kotnot or light garment, which is a very thin dressing that is made for her from the Torah and good deeds that she was dealing with. By her education, haskalotea, education, sechel, המשכילים, like the book of Zohar opens, והמשכילים יזהירו כזוהר הרקיע, and the educated one, or those who have the right mind, yes, by its education or thinking or intelligence, and her deeds in the things that they have a relation to the matter. Like Carl Jung says, sometimes we have to have relation to the matter, sometimes to get dirty. And מצד הלבוש הזה, and from this kind of garment, she will not remain completely undressed. Meaning, he רוצה לומר, wants to say, in her spiritual essence. Because it is impossible that she will stand in this material world without a dressing, meaning kotnot, and he says in the brackets, and this is the kotnot, or the light garment that Adam was dressing before he was mistaken, and also the angels above. While they were descending in their crafts to this world, they will appear to dress in a very thin dressing, as it is known to the words of the sages. And here, now, in her mistakes, she already took off her light garment, and she mixed with the skin and flesh garment, and it's not possible any longer that she will wear the light garment in the time that she will withdraw from her skin garment, because it was already removed from her. And it continues. The question, how do you feel with this text? What does it do to you? Does it manage
Thank
to...
you so much, Eti.
Yeah?
Yes, just thank you, because it is so good to follow you reading and translating. You know, it comes so many insights. So I thank you so much for doing this for us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It is so beautiful, this text.
A great moment. Listen this, Etsy. Thank you very much.
There is something, Fernando, regarding prophecy, that in the last 3 lines he relates to prophecy. Would you like that I will translate a prophecy?
Yes, yes, please, Eti.
He
Yes.
says, I washed my feet, the body to the nefesh is like the shoe that on which a person stands and stabilizes. And while prophesying, he or she will remove the shoe. He wants to say, will undress the place, the existing place, the physical, like the minds which are abstract from the bodies, like it was told to Moses, remove thy shoe from your feet, which is removing or abstracting the material, like it's known in the secret here, Fernando and Rodrigo, the secret of removing the shoe. The secret of, this is very important, the secret of removing the shoe. But now he returns to the verse, I already washed my feet, like a person who feels very refined that he cannot walk barefoot. Sometimes people feel that they're so gentle that they cannot go barefoot, but here he, in a way, tries to tell us barefoot is for the spirit, and people who cannot walk barefoot, he says something here. Because I wash them and I cannot go without a shoe. Because the shoe is what? What does the shoe symbolizes?
Homer, the
Homer.
material.
Yes, yes, yes. He meant to say that he cannot leave the body, that it is a shoe. The body is a shoe. Please remember, the body is a shoe for the soul. The body is a shoe for the soul. When Moses was told, remove your shoe, what is the meaning of this?
Following the text is to remove the materiality.
Yes,
The-
yes, yes, yes.
In the prophecy, the Navi is related with this vulgarity.
Mhm. So what do we need, so to speak, to gain prophecy? The ability to profit. I mean, to be a prophet. What is the need?
to remove the shoe.
To remove the shoe.
It is interesting because you once said that the shoe and the regelim is the multiplicity,
Yes.
right? Is the
Yes.
is the is the many aspects that we have. So to and it's interesting also that Weinreb also speaks a lot about doing for nothing. You know, the
Yes.
doing for nothing, the do not have self-interest. I think that this is related. You know, like the prophecy to occur, it is needed to remove the multiplicity, remove self-interest, and to be with the one, right?
Yes.
And and if I may ask a question,
Yes. Yes.
because you mentioned the book of Daniel. I was
Yes.
reading the book of Daniel, and it is interesting because Daniel is the prophet, right, who interprets dreams. He is the one who knows how to see the symbols.
Mm-hmm.
But when he had the vision, he cannot comprehend what he saw, so he asks for the people to interpret for him. This is right? Is
Mm-hmm.
this right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering here um, about this needing of conversation even for the prophet, you know, even
Yes.
for the one who
But
sees something.
of course, you're right. Of course. This is why the Bible mentioned Hevel Nevi'im, the group of prophets. They were sitting together when Elisha is escorting Elijah, Chevel Nevi'im. Chevel is not just a rope, but a group of prophets. They are sitting together, they are conversing, they are playing instruments, they are singing. Prophecy comes with singing, with conversation. They relate to each other, they share their dreams, though each and every one of them is capable of opening dreams. They still share with each other. This is very, very important. I'm reminded of the Uranus circle that was in Switzerland. I just was reminded those people, it is, and Sholem was part of them. I think he was also, and a student of Carl Jung was there from France and others. It is very important to share views and to converse about those things. Very, very important. This is why we have a session now almost every day. Okay, this is in the course of Hanukkah, so to speak, but this is very, very important because what happened, Fernando, before Hanukkah, it started on Sunday, I've received from different people kinds of messages that there is not enough tension, meaning there is not enough conversations for people to relate. So we have a session or conversation every day. This is very important.
It is amazing, yes.
The conversation is a certain has a certain tension. The tension is like a cord, a tendon, like in our body, the tendons, Gid, the tendons, the white part that connects the muscles to the bone. You know the word in English, tendon, Gid,
Yes.
Yes.
Gid, tendon. Connects the bone to the muscles and then we can move. Please pay attention that if we add the letter Mem to Gid, we have what?
Magid.
What is a Magid?
Tell the story.
The one who tells a story. And when we speak and we tell a story, it's like we enabling this meeting in the third dimension, as Fernando was mentioning, via symbols, and there's a tension, like tension that we have in the muscles when we move, and suddenly magic happens, so to speak, magic, and then we are motivated. This is very, very important.
It's interesting as the word tendon. A storyteller, the Magids, good Magids, they have the ability to do this connection. Can I say, when we are telling a story, we connect the dots also. You mentioned the word tendon, the word gid, which connects flesh and the bones, and the Magid is also one who make these connections.
That's true. That's true. The Magid collects all the different elements and pulls them together to a story. And by telling a story, there's a tension that is created in a way in another dimension, unseen dimension to each and every one of us. We never see this, but it's influencing certain realms in ourselves. and things are happening. You remember the prophecy about the dry bones of Ezekiel?
Yes.
Suddenly the dry bones, yes, he asked him, look at those dry bones, can they live? And suddenly what, put flesh on them, and then there's it's possible. And this is not ancient prophecy. The dry bones, עצמות יבשות, is עצמות. The bone is an essence. The essence is dry, like a potential in the refrigerator or somewhere in a box. But once you shake up this potential, suddenly everything comes and becomes alive.
So you are saying that the Magid tool is but the prophecy of Ezekiel, when the Magid tell a story, how can I say that dry bones existing again, something like that, when the Magid tell a story.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful what you are speaking, Rodrigo, because the flesh is basar, also could be related with message,
True.
right? A
Yes.
message.
Yes. Besorah, message the Besorah. Yes.
Besoha, yes.
Yes.
It's
Very
the
good.
same root.
But very good.
So if you take the essence and can like articulate a message from this essence, you put flesh on the bone, you revive it. The sons of Ephraim, one of the tribes, right? So
Yes.
Ephraim.
Excellent. Yes. When we speak to each other, the speech, the storytelling, the Magid, by the way, lives in each and every one of us. Once we operate this Magid, he starts to connect and he revives universes within ourselves.
It makes me remember the book of modesty.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I would like to encourage you to tell stories and to share your impressions and dreams as much as you can with your surroundings and friends. This is very, very important. Don't let those, how do you say, those sparks of life diminish between your fingers. It is very, very important to relate to this. You mentioned the book of Daniel, and I was looking yesterday for a quote to bring to class, and I found that the sages always quote the words in Aramaic from the book of Daniel. Most of it is written in Aramaic. Bereish milim. Bereish, meaning berosh, at the beginning. Bereish milim. At the beginning of words, and many sages, Hebrew sages, open their articles about wisdom in those words from the book of Daniel. Bereish milim, at the head or the beginning of words. What comes to us human before a word comes to us? In the world, this kind of thinking is known in Greek as epistemology. Epistemologia. Epistemologia. The theory of recognition. Epistemology. From nothing becomes something. What comes to our heads, to our mind, before we have the ability to speak words? To any human.
Wishes and thoughts.
Yes, Rodrigo?
No, I just thinking this before the words, before the milah, the images and the thoughts that existed before for this.
Yes, and Venus is writing image, sound, feeling. This is also a triangle. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
And milim is 130. It's love, you know,
It
10
is
times love.
love. It is love. It is love. It is love. It is interesting in the Latin language is amor. Amor is love, isn't it?
Yes.
And it,
Yes,
Yes.
amor.
and in Hebrew is to speak. So the speech is basically an expression of love.
Yes. 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 Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here and being with us today. This is very important. Very, very important. And if we notice to the curve of conversation, it is become like more freestyle. We can in a way take a flight from the text. I mean, the text is like an airfield, just a startup, and then we can really sail to other dimensions. So I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being able to appear here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And we
Eti. Thank
take
you, for
and we thank you, Eti.
and Shalom, Shalom, Venus. Thank you for your participation. It's very, very beautiful to read what you wrote on YouTube. And thank you to everybody, to Philip and to everybody. Thank you, Shalom, Shalom.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Eti,
Thank you.
friends, Venus, Philip, Rodrigo. It was
Thank you.
amazing journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.